Alright, welcome back to another episode of Aoi Tori. The next day when we should have been looking forward to performing a play. I say a morning prayer in the chapel, get changed, and head to Sayo's room.
おはよう、お兄ちゃん。
I find her standing there in full uniform. Morning. I see you're already dressed.
お着替え手伝いたかった？
That's why I came here.
体に力の入らない妹に触れて、柔らかい手足を掴んで、服を脱がせて、ちらりと見える脇とか太ももや下着に興奮したかったのね。ああ、いやらしい。
Well, that would be exciting.
それだけじゃ足りないのね。体の不自由さと恥辱に赤くなる女の子の困った顔が好きなのね。
I'm nothing against that.
私も好きよ。そういう顔。
Sad grins. I stopped myself from pointing out that's what happens to her when we have sex. I know she's forcing herself to act this cheerful. Her legs are trembling so much just from standing it doesn't look like she'll be able to take a single step. Sayo forces a smile as she notices my eyeline and crumpled brow.
正直に言って立ってるので精一杯。手を貸して。
Sure. I take hold of Sayo's outstretched hand. At this point, I'm not checking whether or not I should be touching her. Sayo clutches at her chest as she groans in pain. Tell me if it's too much.
大丈夫。まだ。
Sayo tries to form a single smile as sweat beats up on her neck and brow. I don't think she'll be telling me to stop no matter what. What's important to her is the familiar warmth. I agree that the same warmth is probably also important to her. Now that I found out I've never experienced a mother's love.
さあ、行きましょう。
You know, for a guy who doesn't care, sure talks a lot about this. Hey, Mary. We head into the corridor where Mary is waiting for us.
さよちゃん、おはよう。平気？おはよう。ダメよ。そっか、ダメか。
Mary replies casually, almost as if she's trying not to get Sayo too worked up. In response, Sayo curls the corners of her lips into a smile.
まあ、一応メアリーには言っておくわ。何を？ありがとう。あなたに会えてよかった。うわー。
Mary's reaction is less than surprise and more one of displeasure.
何よ。私に褒められたんだから、ひざまずいて泣いて喜びなさいよ。
Cry, yeah, of course.
その言葉には感謝の念が全然感じられない。お兄ちゃん以外の相手にあんなこと言うの、私の人生で今後二度とないんだから。嬉しいけど、うわーだよ。
Mary rolls her eyes around. Oh.
まったく、さよちゃんはどこまで行ってもさよちゃんなんだね。当然。私はみっともなくても最後まで私のまま生きる。
Mary smiles cheerfully.
さよちゃんはさよちゃんらしく生きるのが一番可愛いからね。美人って言いなさいよ。ふふん、美人は年上お姉さんである私の担当だもん。どこが姉よ。へっぽこおてんこ吸血鬼じゃない。
Ouch.
やっぱりひどい。
I think cute applies to the both of them personally. Not that I'm dumb enough to butt in when two girls are discussing their appearances. As much as what Mary says applies to Sayo, it applies to her too. She's living life her own way. Let it face death and save Sayo. I really don't want to have to choose between them. Which basically means we're all as awkward as each other.
朝ごはんはどうする？おかゆ作っておいたけど。ほら、まあ一口だけ。
At this point, my phone begins vibrating in my pocket. I didn't even have to have it set to silent. Is the devil really only doing this now after all this time? I just remembered I left something in my room. Could you take care of Sayo for me, Mary? Mary lands Sayo on her shoulder and helps towards the lounge. I enter my room and lean back against the door. I need to take a deep breath before I answer the phone. What is it?
おはようございます。いやいや、ここはおめでたくメリークリスマスとでも言っておきましょうか。
This bastard. Nothing auspicious about it.
メアリーハーカーを生贄にあなたが始まりの一歩を踏み出す記念日ではありませんか。それともここまで来て一線を踏み越えられず妹君を見殺しにいたしますかな。
You piece of trash.
僕は
Holy
どちらで
shit.
も。
The devil laughs, knowing the end result would be the same. This is really getting to me now. So you only call to repeat yourself and agree with me further, is that it?
そうもない。ただ今日はそういう記念すべき日ですから常におそばにおりますというご挨拶ですよ。
More like you're keeping me under surveillance.
子供の初めての使いを見守るようなものです。いえ、主を子供扱いは失礼の極みでした。童貞を卒業できるかといったところでしょうか。緊張でナイフを差し込む相手と的を間違えてもらっては困りますからな。
I stopped myself from clicking my tongue. This means the devil will be sticking to me like glue to make sure I don't do anything unexpected. See, for instance, I was not to head to where Mary is after class. Then the devil would step in and do something, I'm sure. So whatever I plan to do, I need to have a way to counter it. First times, huh? The words unconsciously slipped from my mouth. It seems the devil wasn't able to pick up on the meaning behind them.
どうして私を殺したの。
Whenever I speak to the devil, I'm always reminded of that girl. She was meant to be the first and the last. I won't abandon anyone ever again. You were the first person I couldn't save, and I'll make sure you're the last. I just wanted to double check. I'm stealing Saya's life and her powers, right?
そうですの。
I can sense the devil raising its guard. It is late for me to be confirming this, but I carry on regardless, maintaining a lack of expression. Which means that the weaker Sayo gets, the stronger I get. Even if I haven't awakened her or whatever.
ですね。
Then, am I stronger than you already?
ああ、ははん、そういうことですか。
The devil laughs flippantly?
生意気な僕にお仕置きをしたいとか、ド M にご褒美をあげたいとか、何がしかできるのかと考えたのでしょう。いやー、まあそうですね。電話と結界越しでは詳しい判断はできませんが、いい線まで来ているのではないですか。
I see. I'm close to being equal with it then.
とはいえ、その鳥かごの中にいてはお互いに直接の手出しは不能ですよ。今やその結界は僕にとっての防波堤でもある。
What a shame.
あ あなた様が何を選ぼうとも、これにて第1幕人の世の終わりです。有無がやすしとも言いましょう。今は苦しくても真に目覚めてしまえばハッピーな気分で笑い飛ばせますし、その折には僕の働きも認めてくださることでしょう。
You just look forward to it. I gotta go. Damn, Brita saying. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I raise a hand to my chest. Not to check my heart rate, but the silver knife hidden under my clothes. I mean it. Wait in anticipation. One problem would seem to be cleared. I take the knife into my hand and imagine stabbing myself. And imagine myself stabbing Mary to death. It's enough to make me gag. The powerful picture that comes to mind. Then one of red blood. I really shouldn't be doing this before breakfast. I produce an apple out of thin air and bite a chunk out of it. Convenient. With breakfast over, it's time for us to head to school.
ああ、この感覚久しぶり。
Sam mutters as Mary and I help her walk down to bed.
なんだか夏休み明けに学校に行く時みたいな感じ。そう？わからない？私最近まで学校とか行ったことなかったから。ああ、そうだった。
Sayo says as she presses her tiptoes to the ground and stares up at the blinding sun.
眩しい。
Aren't you cold? In response to my question, Sayo smiles and huddles up to me.
寒いけどあったかい。
Yeah.
暑い暑い。
Mary pans herself down with her hand, causing Sayo to turn her grin at her.
羨ましい？そりゃ私も女の子だし。
Mad walking along, chatting like any other day. When Mary comes to a stop, something wrong?
ああ、気にしないで二人で行って。
The morning sun streams down over Mary as she smiles.
できる限り兄弟二人の時間を過ごすのがいいと思うから。
Right.
じゃあメアリー、行ってくるわ。行ってらっしゃい。そういえば前もこうやってお兄ちゃんと二人で登校した。
Sayo starts smiling as we take slow steps forward.
ちょっと懐かしい。
Yeah.
リツ、重くない？
Sayo's worried about the burden she's putting on me. Nah, let us have her.
そう、やっぱり男の子ね。
It's less about being a man, more about being your brother. It's my job to support you.
それもそっか。それなら今日は、甘える。
Sure. And now that Sayo huddles closer, putting more weight on me. I thought she was doing it as a joke, but I was wrong.
遠いな、学園。
Sayo's face is covered in sweat as she practically drags her feet behind her. In truth, the school is only a few minutes walk away from home. But that would be an insurmountable distance for Sayo now if she were alone. She's suffering so much. This must be so hard on her. I hate myself for doing this to her. I can only hope she can hold out for a little bit longer. Once the day is over, all the problems surrounding her will be gone. I'm going to finish this.
ねえ、お兄ちゃん。
Sayo suddenly looks at me through upturned eyes. What's up?
さっきも言ったけど甘えてもいい？
Sure. I imagine she's finding it too difficult to walk and wants me to carry her. In the past, I would have been worried about people seeing us, but now I don't care at all. Nothing can take me away from Saya. However, to my surprise, Saya tiptoes up in front of me.
Huh, 甘えた甘えた。充電できたわ。
Sayo averts her embarrassed eyes. Her cheeks have gone slightly red, bringing back some of her complexion, although she was awfully pale to begin with. I tried to smile through the shock. You didn't need to launch a surprise attack to get a kiss out of me.
そうだけど、やっぱりびっくりしてるお兄ちゃんの顔可愛いんだもん。
Sayo giggles.
今度はリツの方からしてみたら？
Yeah, eventually. It would be hard to pull that off on command. Sayo's expression changes from a smile to a glare. For fuck's sake, Norton, stop it blackmailing me! Fuck off.
鈍感ね。そのうちなんてあると思う？
Oh. I raised a surprised noise. It's clear what she means. There is no next time for her. But I want it to be like you do have and then eventually. I can't make myself act like this is your last day. Sai looks at me and makes a troubled smile.
そういうのもありかな。
Come on, let's get a move on. I reaffirm my support for Sayo as we continue down the same old path.
さよ先輩。
Hey guys. We ran into Akari and Risa in front of the school building. Not by coincidence, I think they were waiting for us. Mary must have phoned ahead.
おはよう。
Sayo can barely speak through her fatigue, but she manages to return to greeting.
大丈夫？さよさん。先生もおはようございます。まあ生きてますよ。そう。
Risa turns to look at me. She's trying to check with me to see if Sayo's okay, but all I can do is vaguely tilt my head to the side.
そうだ。劇を中止にさせちゃってすみません。今更だけど。そんなことはいいから。今日は終業式だけど無理はしないでね。ええ、まあ無様ですけど適当にやります。リツくんもお願いね。ずっと付き添っていていいから。
I will. At this point, I smile at Akari, who's watching both of us anxiously. Morning?
おはようございます。
Seeing Sayo so weak has only increased the anxiety painted on Akari's face. Only there are no words left to say.
出迎えてくれてありがたいですけど、気にしないでいいです。
The way Sayo trails out seems to go against the point she was trying to make. But she remains firm.
リツ、一人で立つ。
Are you sure?
さすがに学園でまで兄弟でべったりじゃ恥ずかしいでしょ。
She says jokingly as she moves apart from me. I'm worried she's going to collapse, but although she wobbles, she remains standing.
教室まで一緒に行くから。どうも。
Risa takes my place and leads Sayo inside. I go to follow them when... I notice that Akari is still staring at me. Her expression is still anxious. In fact, has she always been looking at me with such anxiety on her face? Is something wrong?
リツ先輩、大丈夫ですか?
No, I need a bow pillow. Could you also carry me away to the classroom? Me? Shouldn't Sayo be the one you're concerned about? I endeavor to form a priestly smile. Polite yet insincere. A front.
サヨ先輩も心配ですけど、なんだかリツ先輩の方が心配で、自分でも変なんですけど。
Akari cocks her head as if she doesn't truly understand it herself. I find myself unable to see anything back. It's like she has a sixth sense. One attuned to the fall. Honestly, given Saya's condition, I'm pretty tired and on edge myself. I tell her the truth. Just not all of it.
そうですよね。
Akari agrees.
辛かったら私にも相談とか。あ、メアリー先輩がいますもんね。
Yeah, but another person to talk to would be great.
はい。
I see her smile for the first time today. My smile becomes more natural as I gesture for us to make our way inside. And then Akari's back turned to me. A sentence unconsciously escapes my lips. In a trembling voice, I say, "Look after Sayo and Mary for me, Akari." Oh, nothing. I shake my head. The devil is surveilling me? I can't relax yet. I must act until the curtain falls. I remain stood there for a few seconds after Akari leaves. Then I take my phone from my pocket. I bust it up like it's a beanbag. Take a look at this! I seem to no one in particular as I launch my phone up above my head as hard as I can. Huh?
何かが怪しいか。
Having observed every occurrence on the way to the academy this morning, I pause in thought. Something is off here. There's still some sort of scheme wearing in Shiratori Ritsu's mind. He's certainly persistent, though by all rights, he's no more than a vessel for my coming lord. These humans who refuse to give in grate on my nerves to no end, though it is highly amusing to watch them flounder when they finally sink into the abyss of despair. That's why I'm so taken by him, and that's all the more reason to crush his hopes and dreams right at the very last possible moment. But anyway,
何をするつもりだ?
something. His remaining options are exceedingly limited. If he remains in direct contact with his sister, then she won't even last until nightfall. A mere few hours remain in Kurosaki Sayo's life.
いや、考えるまでもない。
The end is already evident. It all comes down to where Shiratori Ritsu decides to go after school. He has two options. Return to the mansion and kill Mary Harker. That would be perfect. And if he happens to head to the station with Kurosaki Sayo, then, well, I'll have to act. Oh.
趣味ではないが、僕の手で黒崎小夜を殺す。
Of course, I might end up being torn limb from limb by the remnants of what used to be the boy. But
それも一興。
as much as I've enjoyed watching from my safe space, I haven't had any opportunities for fun and games. Shiratori reads his powers are growing and the barrier around him beaconing as it do so. I'll lay the groundwork so I can be there in a few minutes tops. There will be no mercy. No remorse.
喜劇の終幕だ。
Just as I'm smiling to myself, Shiratori Ritsu takes out his cell phone. As I'm wondering what he's about to do, he looks up at the empty sky. Take a look at this! With that, he launches his phone. What's the point of that? We'll see. I stare at this phone flying high into the air. For a moment, the sun blinds my eyes. Why must the sun remain so irritatingly radiant even in midwinter? And then, without anything special happening, the phone lands back in the boy's hand. Then, with a solemn look on his face, he puts away the phone and heads inside. What was that about? We'll see, I suppose. Later on, school is over and winter break has come. Since it was the last day of term, we spent first period having an assembly in the auditorium, and second period consisted of no more than receiving our report cards.
なんかこう思ったより来た甲斐がなかったわね。
I know it's my last day on Earth and stuff like that, but jeez, I'm regretting this. Why did I come to school? It's boring as fuck! Sayo grabbles Sayo as she stands up from her chair. The classroom is alive with excited discussions about report cards and the freedom of winter break. Sayo didn't take any exams though, so she held off on giving her a report card until she gets well enough to take them. The world doesn't revolve around us, huh?
そうね。
Sayo answers with a wry smile.
逆に世界がどうであろうと私とリツには関係ない。
Yep. Just then, I sense Mary looking at us. I turn my head, she nods at me, then quickly leaves the classroom. She's going to wait for me at home, like we arranged. It's time to choose.
どうしたの？
No, nothing.
なんでもないなら駅に行きましょうか。
I think to myself, am I sure this is the right thing to do? Just in case this is going to actually give me an option to choose. Am I sure this is the right thing to do? And I honestly won't know until I've done it. Would you mind going on ahead of me, Saya?
え？
She's obviously surprised that I do be mean enough to ask her to walk through the woods in her current state. Although since I haven't touched her for the past few hours, she's doing better than she was. There's something I have to do first.
いいけど何のこと？
Tell you later. I look away to stop Saya from realizing anything. Then I pick up my bag. At the same time, I confirm the feeling of the knife against my chest and my phone in my pocket. I'll be there as soon as I'm done, okay?
うん。
I throw Sayo a smile to try and ease their suspicions before leaving the classroom. I've had enough of faking these smiles. I head back along the path I took only a few hours ago, leading me back to the residence. I can tell my expression is stiff and cold-hearted. I hear the devil's laughter coming from my pocket. It's laughing at the road I took.
いやまさかまさか。メアリー・ハーカーの死を選ぶ可能性はほぼないと思っていたのですけどね。あなたを少々侮っておりました。素直にこれは謝罪と賛辞でございます。
Fuck off.
さあ花を咲かせましょう。あの銀色の髪を雪のような白い肌を
ignore the devil and his delight, keeping my eyes fixed on the ground as I walk. What must Mary have been thinking when she returned here a month ago? To the place she lived 100 years in the past, where her parents were murdered. I can't even begin to imagine. Although I'm sure she kept her head held high as she marched here. And so I imagine how she would have felt walking this road a few minutes earlier. What was she thinking then? Probably that I won't actually show up, like the devil thought. I wonder if she believes in me. I wonder if she'll be surprised when I show up in the chapel as arranged. I hope she is. We make it back to the residence, but we head straight for the chapel instead of the main building. Beyond the door, I found Mary, just as I expected.
おかえりなさい、リツくん。
Contrary to my hopes, so she greets me with a smile. But in truth, this is exactly how I imagine it going. I'm here.
あまり時間もないだろうし、話すべきことはもう話しちゃったよね。
She stands there calmly, and she's right. Everything's already been said. I take out a knife.
さあ
The devil lets out a whispering cry. It hardly acts as a push, but I take a step forward regardless. Towards Mary? She's still smiling. At this point, another place thought crosses my mind. If I had been able to meet my mother, I would have liked her to smile at me like this. Though that's no more than an empty dream now.
楽しかったよ。
Me too. I stand before her, knife outstretched. Mary, no matter what happens, I want you to apologize to Sayo for me. All I can do is do what my mother did. Before she has a chance to speak, I thrust the knife towards her chest. Then there's a burst of red. But not a spray of blood. Rather, from a red flower. Trust me, I'm just as confused as you two. I stare down at my hand. Or rather, the place where my hand holding the knife was. The flower that had burst from my wrist has now fully enveloped the rest of my body. Blood isn't a good look for you, Mary. A more nauseating scene would have bought me more time, but I couldn't even bring myself to imagine it. So instead I smile. This will have to do.
リツくん。白鳥リツ。
Oh. I understand her being confused, but saying her full name. That sounds like a pissed-off creature to me. Mary and the devil both blankly call my name. I smile at them. Goodbye, and thank you. I had fun too. What was formerly my body 10 crumbles away? I did not expect this whatsoever. What?
リツ
Sayo? Yeah. I look up at the snow-covered trees, feeling as if I just heard my brother's voice. Though I get no reply, of course. Ritsu isn't here, he can't be. I'm just imagining it. I steadied myself against a tree and let out a long sigh. The fatigue is so extreme that if I were to take a break, I don't think I'd be able to start walking again. I'm sleepy. My eyelids are heavy. Even the pain and my struggles to breathe have faded away under the relentless assault of exhaustion. I would like nothing more than to collapse onto the snowy ground beneath my feet. I'm sure the chill would feel ever so pleasant. But I keep myself walking. I often find myself coughing every time, like an overused joke. I leave traces of blood behind in the snow. I need to at least make it to the station, even if I have to do it alone. I wanted to be with Anichan when the end came, but he's not here now. I am lonely. Ever so lonely. A strange noise rises from my throat. I feel so helpless I want to cry. My whole life I was alone. My whole life I walked alone. But now that I have known the warmth of a family, I can never go back. I can take all this pain and suffering, but solitude is too much. I wipe my hard-dead eyes against my arm. An hour sag. My loneliness has overcome my exhaustion, giving me a touch more energy. I recall the images of my mother that Ritsu showed me. She always walked alone, like me. I wonder how she truly felt about all that. I did get to listen to her thoughts. But I can't imagine that was all of it. Humans just aren't that simple. I know she must have been searching for someone too. Traveling free like a bird, while waiting for someone to show up in front of her. Nothing she could say would convince me otherwise. As a woman, I know. I mutter, my mind hazy. She should have believed in Ritsu. She shouldn't have abandoned me. Then she would have known the value in doing so. The warmth of a family. More words don't come. I realize that for all my efforts, I barely walked anywhere. I look around. Then I realize I'm hoping to see someone coming to help. I'm alone. The cry escapes me. Though it was weak, lacking any real volume, it was a cry from the heart. A cry that no one will hear. I force myself to start walking for real. Though the pain and loneliness are overpowering, I move my feet. Yes. The last line brings me back a little. I wanted to make him happy. He was so hollow, having never had even a shred of love from his mother. So I need to make sure I tell him. Tell him what? I haven't decided yet.
丈夫。
I say a phrase with every step I take. All of them seem appropriate, but not appropriate enough.
大丈夫。生まれる前から一緒だったんだから。また会える。
That works, but it doesn't feel right. Nothing here is right. Nothing here is wrong.
愛している。
A smile suddenly takes over my face. A warmth inhabits my chest. That's my answer.
愛していた。
Finally, you see the empty tracks lead to an opening in the trees. It's the station. I made it. Then I notice a figure on one of the benches.
リツ？